Hey YouTube, welcome to another Liquid Chrome Nails video. Today's video is going to be about marketing, whether it's creating brand for yourself, whether you're a new nail technician or if you've been at it for a while. I also tried to gear this towards if you're in a bigger place, a bigger city, a bigger area, or if you might be in a small town. I tried to make this general for everyone. Maybe you've been at it for a while and you're just in a rut. And as far as marketing goes, you just want to up your ante. So I've got a few ideas here. When I first started my channel, I really wanted it to be tutorials and things like that. But as I look around, I'm realizing there's really not a whole lot out there for nail technicians in particular, as far as marketing information goes. It seems pretty easy these days. You know, we have Facebook and we are able to pop on there and post some pictures. Sometimes it's bigger than that. A lot happens when you post to Facebook, which I believe will be my next video. Facebook Insights and Algorithms, 50 or 60 pages worth of stuff. So I'm going to try to give you some tips today on marketing and how to market yourself in a manner that helps your business and helps fill your book and keep it full. So I've got some notes here, so if you see me looking around, that's what that's about. The first thing I wanted to talk about is your skills, your education. Invest in your education. If you're just out of school, if you've been out of school for a while, it really doesn't matter. If there are classes coming to your town or your city or within a couple hour radius, if you can possibly put the money together to go, you should. Even if it's the same class that you've already taken before, but perhaps it's a different instructor, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. Go. If there's anyone around giving workshops in your area of skill, whether it's gel or acrylic, maybe it's simply nail art that you want to learn about. I myself offer those workshops. Look around, get on your local nail pages if there are any. If there aren't, maybe create one. That's also an idea, to be able to put all of like people together, to take workshops and have sit downs and gatherings. There are things you can do to get to know nail techs in your area better. I know sometimes we're not very good at sharing information. I do think that needs to change, and I'm hoping with videos like this that maybe it will change. So invest in your education. Always remain a student. Your skill is yours. Your talent is yours, and it's yours to invest in and it's yours to grow. No one can take that away from you, but you are in charge of making it better. So if you can possibly do that, you really should. Your education doesn't need to be on the wall. I myself have taken countless courses. I don't have anything up, but when people ask, I'm able to create a conversation and talk to them about the classes or the competitions. Give more value than your competitor. There might be a crazy amount of nail techs in your town. That's fine, no big deal. That just has to make you work a little bit harder to fill your book and keep it full. Give more value. So either do a better job, or maybe if your niche is nail art, then work on that. Take classes, make your skill better, give more value than your competitor. But never, ever speak badly of them. That is not good, graceful business. So do one thing great. Set yourself apart. If you do a really amazing French tip, set yourself apart. Do it and do it well. If you do hand-drawn art very well, one-stroke flowers. If your specialty is rhinestones, if your specialty is doing stuff like that, do it and do it well. Collaborate with someone in the industry. So photographers, makeup artists, do an event, hold an open house, spend a Sunday afternoon. Maybe she's just starting out as well, or maybe you would like to trade off with a photographer and have some professional pictures done of the nails. Collaborate with people in your industry. Maybe there is a small cosmetic store. Maybe you can work with another hairstylist, but collaborate. Write down your ideas when you think of them. Talk it through with yourself, make sure it sounds like a good idea, and then collaborate. Set up a table at a show. So in my hometown, we have a show, a women's show that happens every year. It's a really great show. Something like that, set up a table from your salon. offer bookings, offer business cards, show off your work, have an album, have a slideshow on your iPad, have models walking around, do nails while you're there. There's 1,000 things you can do for that. Usually a table is $100 or $125. Your return on investment for that probably isn't going to be immediate, but it's going to get your name out there. It's going to get your face out there. So when people see your advertisement roll in front of them on Facebook, they can say, I met that girl at the show and she had some really cool nail art. Maybe I'll book in with her. Another thing is to always have business cards with you. You don't really need to pitch yourself, but when someone says, oh my gosh, look at your nails, I love those. Thanks, that's what I do. I'm a nail tech. You give them the card. And if they say, oh, well, I already have a nail girl. No problem. That's great. But maybe someday she'll go on vacation. You might need that card. And that may be exactly what happens. It never hurts to give out your card. You need to always have them with you, have them in your car. Drive-thrus are a famous place for people to see really cool nails. Have them in your vehicle, have them in your purse, have them in your wallet, have them in your back pocket. Just make sure you always have them and give them out. Be at work, sit, wait. So if you're not busy, if you don't have anything booked for the day, it's wonderful to come in at 11 and then to leave at 1 and have the rest of your day to yourself. That really does sound great, but that's not going to fill your book. Be at work. Sit. Wait. Some people call it paying your dues. You can call it whatever you want. Get a practice hand. Practice your art. If you're not good at French, practice your French. If you're not good at a certain kind of art, practice that. If you do acrylic and you want to try gel, if you, whatever it is, practice. Take pictures, take good pictures. And if you've already been posting to your social media that day, perhaps hold back, but maybe tomorrow you won't have anything to post. So tomorrow you can use those pictures that you took today and you can post those and you can keep your social media moving. General rule of thumb for Facebook is to post sometimes up to 5 times a day on your page. Keep that going. If you don't have anything at all to post, you might have some tips on tips on why to use cuticle oil, a little e-card or something like that. Post that. Keep stuff stashed to be able to post. So in using your practice hand, keep a notebook, or I always keep a notebook. Keep a notebook, have it with you, use your notes on your phone, use however you take notes, it doesn't matter, but keep a notebook with ideas in it or with pictures in it that you can go back to, because every now and again you set up your practice hand and you think, okay, I'm going to do big things this afternoon. I don't have any clients, but I'm going to take some really awesome pictures of some stuff that I do. And you sit down and your mind is an absolute blank. Then you can go to your list. You can go to your photos. If I'm going to sit down and work on nail art, I go to my screenshots because I save a lot of them there. I go to my notebook, and usually my notebook will give me the idea and tell me where I've saved the picture, because I'm getting older and my memory is not what it used to be. Also, you can use Pinterest. Have a board just called practice. Make it private if that's what you want to do. Pin to that board. Keep things there. And when you sit down to practice and you open that up and you're not really inspired, you look through those pictures and the inspiration will come to you to be able to practice. Practice hands sometimes can be very expensive. I purchased my first one off of eBay for $20 some odd. It's not perfect, but it's a practice hand and I use it all the time. And you need to do that as well. It's a really good idea. Rebook your client before they leave. That is a big kicker. It sounds so silly, and sometimes you think, well, that client's going to see that their nails are growing out and they are going to get a hold of me. That's not always the way it works. Make sure you rebook that client. And sometimes when you rebook them and they say, I really don't know about that day, I can't remember if I have to work or not, I don't have my schedule with me. You know what, that's fine. We'll book you in anyway. And you can check that when you get home. And if it doesn't work for you, you can let me know. Then they have the appointment. There's a 50-50 chance that that appointment is going to work. And for the most part, in my experience, they do keep that appointment because it does work. If it doesn't, then they have a call to action. They need to get a hold of you, and they know they need to get a hold of you. Or if you think maybe that person is a little bit forgetful, you can take 3 or 4 days, message them and say, hey, does that, November 1st appointment still work for you? Just rebook before they leave. That's very important. So always be marketing yourself. Like I said before, Facebook is showing like 5 times a day on your page is where you should be at for posting. Share to pages. If somebody doesn't like seeing your shares all the time, they can unfollow you or unfriend you. That's not your worry. If they don't want to see it, then they don't want to see it, and that is absolutely okay. It doesn't matter. But don't let anybody hate on you for it. I wouldn't flood people's news feeds by any stretch. 20 times a day is a bit much. But if you're going to post 5 times a day, and somebody wants to be a hater, then let them go to it because they don't pay your bills. That's one thing to remember. Don't get discouraged about stuff like that. You might see somebody, let's say you're new and you see someone and they say, oh, I really like your nails, but they're a little bumpy. Okay, maybe you know that you need to work on that. That's fair. But that person doesn't pay your bills. So you go back to the salon, you get out your practice hand, like we talked about before, and you fix the fact that your nails are coming out bumpy, and you forget about the hater. They're not paying your bills. Have a plan. So have a plan of what you want your business to do for you. It sounds small, but you do need to grab a piece of paper, go on your online banking, do whatever it is you do, figure out exactly how much money a month you need to survive. Your rent at the salon, if you do, your commission, whatever, your rent at home, your groceries, your gas, your insurance, your vehicle, whatever you have for bills, not necessarily your fun stuff, but your legit bills. Write them down. Your total needs to be, your total is going to scare you if you're not somebody that budgets. But take your total and figure out exactly how many sets of nails you need to do in that month to make that total. If you divide how many sets of nails you need to do by 4 in the 4 weeks in the month, it'll show you that you need a minimum of 3 new sets every week in order to pay your bills at the end of the month. Well, when you break that down, 3 new sets isn't that big of a deal. So in your mind, anything past 3 new sets is savings, is hair extensions, is new Converse, is whatever it is that you do with your fun money. But break it down. If it becomes overwhelming, if it becomes too much to look at, if you have a lot of anxiety about making the money and figuring out how much money you need and how many clients, and if it's all just too much for you, if it's overwhelming, that is okay. It's overwhelming to a lot of us. But break it down. Break it down by the month, break it down by the week, break it down by the day if that's what you need to do. But always break it down. Be easy to contact and be quick to return calls or emails. I know sometimes that's hard because you have a life outside of work, and I totally get that. I tend to travel around with my book with me quite a bit. It fits in my purse, so I do tend to take it. It's become habit for me. But if I don't have my book and I receive an email on my page and I know I'm not going to be back to my book within the next 2 hours, I will email that person back and let them know that I am away from my book right now, but I will be back to it later on tonight. If it's too late when I get home, I will message you first thing in the morning. Let them acknowledge, let them know that you've received that email. It's nice to be able to work 9 to 5, but unfortunately in our industry that is simply not how it works if you want to be successful. So you need to be easy to contact. You don't need to be a slave to your phone, but you do need to be easy to contact. Set up something that works for you. It might be an automatic reply on your page. I see that we can do that now. It might be an automatic text. I'm not sure how to figure that out. I'm not real tech savvy, but just be easy to contact. So you also need to make sure that your social media is easy to look at. I understand that sometimes you want your Facebook to be your own. You want to be able to put whatever the heck you want on it, and I understand that. But Maybe you just need to only have your friends on your Facebook. Maybe your page needs to be for your clients. Whatever it is, keep it relatively clean. If you need to have two, fine, have two. When, let's say, the person that picked up your card at the women's show that you were at, or let's say the collaboration that you did with the photographer brings someone to your Facebook page and all they see is how drunk you were on the weekend before they can get to the pictures of the nails that you do, that might cause you to lose that client. And it's totally up to you. I mean, it is your Facebook, but that's just a piece of information that I find I've heard over the years can be a kicker for some people when they're looking for a new nail tech. So just keep it in mind. I hope some of these things have been helpful. I hope to be able to do more of these videos in the future. Please comment down below if this was helpful. I would like to know if this was helpful to you. Even just comment with a little emoji. Just let me know that you've picked up one thing out of this that's been a good idea. Please like the video and don't forget to subscribe. It helps my page more than you know. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you have a good afternoon.